that I didn't really understand why I was feeling what I was feeling. I probably couldn't articulate it as well back then as I can now, I ended up just having this real distinct feeling that that the image wasn't the thing, and that it wasn't the people that were responsible for doing this, and somehow that by being a part of the world that I was in at that time, I was disrupting the flow of creativity, and that it was going to gradually I was going to gradually sort of lose contact with it, was the feeling that I had. And so I ended up going really far in the other direction, and just pretty much just spending all my time painting for 5 years, and with no thought whatsoever to what the products of my imagination would be worth to anybody else. And that was a really healthy thing for me to do at that time. So when I'm performing, it's a little weird. I like recording more than performing, because you really do, you just close your eyes, and you're especially recording alone, you're alone with the force of music. There's no other distractions. There's no there's no possibility for your brain to go anywhere else. If you are a physical person standing in front of people, you're getting certain charges. Luckily, it's the energy transference between the performer and the audience and the performer that I really enjoy. I really do love seeing people's faces smiling. I love seeing, the light shining out of people's eyes and stuff. Like it's what makes me love it.
Are you present in the moment?
But what I like doing on stage is just shutting my eyes. I've gradually stopped caring about entertaining the audience in any way, because I found that these things that a performer gets in the habit of thinking that they need to do in order to be entertaining, jumping around and stuff like that. So you start doing it because you feel it, but eventually you get, like any habit, you just start doing it. And I started gradually realizing that it just didn't matter, that the important transference is in what you're feeling inside to the audience, and they will respond with enthusiasm if what you're feeling is strong enough, and if what they're feeling is strong enough, it'll just notch you up to a little bit of a higher level. You might be able to play faster on stage than you could if you were in a room by yourself, or you might find yourself just putting an energy into it that's just a little more intense than what you would do in a studio. It's not necessarily better, but it's just human energy bouncing off one another the same way it does when people have sex or whatever. And so most of all, it's been important for me to just really be thinking of the music, and be thinking about the force that's making those people feel what they feel, and the force that's making me feel what I'm feeling, and to not think of it as at all about, I don't think a performer should ever judge themselves as they're performing if they make a mistake, or if they didn't play such a good solo, or if they did a bad drum fill or something. Like, it's stupid stuff to think about, and it's stupid to be judging yourself as you're going by. It puts you after, which, once something's already happened, it's just like regretting the past. It's like there's no point in it. It's already happened, and the best thing to do is to live in the moment, and to worry about the very next step. To worry about but think about the next step. So when I'm playing, I'm usually sort of lingering between being right in the moment or foreseeing things before they happen. A musician gradually is able to be at one point in a song, say like 2 measures before, but you can anticipate what the 4th measure of a cycle is going to be like, and you anticipate what it would feel like if you put a note, say on the 10th, 16th note of the bar or something. You don't even need to use the symbols or the numbers or anything in your head unless they're equivalent with the musical feeling. All you have to do is picture the musical feeling. I used to do this form of meditation where you would sort of you would try to imagine you would try to imagine the feeling of steel, or you would try to hold a shape in your mind, like a red circle, and hold it there, and not let it change shape, and not let it change size, and just try to hold it in your mind. And as I was doing these things every day, or you try to imagine the smell of chocolate and hold the feeling of the smell in your mind, you know. You smell of chocolate, the taste of chocolate, and you try to hold these things in your mind, and I realize that I'm doing that all the time in music. I'll often imagine a rhythm that I can hit on the guitar, you know, and I'll imagine it, say, 4 measures ahead of time, and Flea will have been hearing the same thing and will hit it at the same time. You know, it's like something is offering us these things. It's not. They're if your brain is open to them, and if you've developed the right relationship to the laws of music and to your instrument, you'll just find them waiting there for you. You know. I really think it's this idea that, oh God, how could I ever be a guitarist? I'm never going to be, you know, Eric Clapton or something. It's like these kind of ideas that the person is this intimidating figure who's this great God it's interrupting the fact that people are judging themselves by some kind of, as if there's some kind of criteria that has anything to do with these intimidating, you know, these intimidating godlike figures. It's that's the thing that we're like reaching for, and if we're not giving, I just feel like a child has this relationship to the creative force, you know. Yeah, your parents gradually, you know, stifle that your connection to that creative force and gradually shove your face in the concrete, and so do your teachers and school system, and everything's working against you. But the force of creativity, nature, is not working against you. It's right there for you at any time. You just have to be ready to not judge yourself, and to be open to whatever is going to come through you, and to be ready to not judge it as it comes through, but be all right with it, whatever it is, because it's just the universe expressing itself. It's not something. Nothing's expected of you. You know, you just have to be there for it. And sometimes to get yourself in a position to be there for it is something that takes years of selflessness, or years of just a love for music, just having for no reason at all. You just, for whatever reason, music produces the feelings in you that it does, and playing an instrument produces the feelings in you that it does, and you just follow the light. And sometimes, you know, I mean, I know my years of practicing guitar, they weren't really very emotional. You know, I spent a lot of time just practicing scales and learning Frank Zappa instrumentals and trying to learn the most complicated music I could. But it created the way my intelligence was able to relate to and connect with the nature of music and the feelings that music brings about in me, ended up making me able to just making me be able to form a musical thought in my head, and be able to bring it out into physical reality through my instrument. I remember being a little kid hearing music in my head all the time. I would hear songs in my head. As a 7-year-old kid, I had no idea how to produce them and how to bring them out. I just would hear them, and it's only through the years of playing an instrument without any reason other than just because you love doing it that eventually you learn the chords, you learn the intervals, you learn all kinds of musical references by learning other people's music, and gradually what you hear in your head can come out. It's really, you know, there's nothing intimidating about the process other than maybe you've got to put some time into developing a relationship with an instrument or two, you know. I just don't think people should be so threatened with this idea of being great, because there's just the only people who have any right to say what's great or not are, you know, the main, like, people like Stravinsky or you know, Bartok or somebody like